Across the vast tapestry of human history there are stories that whisper to us from the distant past. They're tales of creation, of heroes and of endings. Among the most powerful and enduring of these is the vision of the Four Horsemen. Imagine a scroll sealed with 7 locks holding the secrets of what is to come. As each seal is broken, a force is unleashed upon the world. A rider on a horse, each representing a fundamental trial of humanity. The first rides a white horse, a conqueror bent on victory. The second thunders forth on a fiery red horse, given the power to take peace from the earth. The third follows on a black horse, carrying scales to measure out famine and economic hardship. These are the heralds, the harbingers of a great and terrible change. They're not just figures from an ancient text, they're symbols, reflections of the struggles we see in our own world, amplified to a divine scale. The air grows heavy as the third seal gives way to the fourth. This silence is a different kind of terror, a quiet that speaks of something more final, more absolute. But the fourth rider is different. He's not here to challenge mankind, but to conclude the challenge. When the Lamb breaks the fourth seal, a new sound is heard. It's the voice of the fourth living creature calling out, "Come and see." And what appears is a sight that chills the soul. A horse, but not like the others. The original Greek text uses the word chloros, the same root as chlorophyll, sickly, greenish pale, the color of a corpse, flesh drained of life, the very image of decay and mortality, a ghastly banner of the end. Upon this pale horse sits a rider. For the first time a name is given. His name was Death. No mystery. He's exactly what his name declares. Not a conqueror seeking a crown, not a warrior seeking a battle. He's a collector. Death isn't an abstract or peaceful transition. He's an active, terrifying force, given authority and a chilling mandate. He was given power over a fourth of the earth. His task, to kill. Methods varied. He kills with the sword, with hunger, with plague, disease, with the beasts of the earth. But the rider named Death does not ride alone. The scripture is very clear on this point, adding another layer of terror and meaning to the vision. And Hades followed with him. Hades, often translated as hell, isn't another rider. It's portrayed as a presence, a companion to death, an insatiable shadow that trails in the pale horse's wake. Death is the hunter, the one who ends life. Hades is the net, the realm that gathers the souls of the dead. This pairing is a powerful theological statement. It suggests that physical death isn't the final word, there's something that comes after. This isn't just about the body ceasing to function, it's about the spirit, the soul, being taken to another place. The authority given to Death and Hades is specific and immense. Power over a fourth part of the earth is a staggering concept. War, famine, plague, nature itself. Hades is there to collect the countless victims. The relationship between Death and Hades serves as a profound warning about the destination of our souls. Narrator Vo. What are we to make of such a terrifying and vivid prophecy? Is it a literal roadmap of the future? Narrator Vo. For many, the power of the Four Horsemen lies not in literal events but in symbolic meaning. These figures are archetypes, timeless representations of forces that plague humanity. Narrator Vo. Throughout history, generations have seen shadows of these riders. Wars erupt, famines sweep, plagues decimate. Narrator Vo. The Pale Rider is more than a future threat, he is a perpetual warning, the personification of the consequences of our own actions. Narrator Vo. When we allow conquest violence, the result is often scarcity, economic collapse opening the door for the Pale Rider. Narrator Vo. The prophecy can be seen as a divine cause and effect. Our choices as a species have ultimate and deadly repercussions. Narrator Vo. This vision was given to John during intense persecution for early Christians. It was meant to be a source of both warning and encouragement. Narrator Vo. To the oppressors a message, your power is temporary. To the faithful a reminder that God was still in control. Narrator Vo. The terrifying imagery was not meant simply to scare but to affirm that evil would not have the last word. Narrator Vo. The message of the pale horse is not helpless despair but urgent reflection. The prophecy acts as a mirror showing our darkest potential. Narrator Vo. It is a dramatic, awe-inspiring plea to choose a different path. Peace, justice, compassion. It warns us what will happen if we fail, not to paralyze us with fear, but to inspire us to change. As we stand in the long shadow of the Pale Rider, it is easy to be overwhelmed by the darkness of the vision. Death on a sickly horse with Hades trailing behind is a profoundly disturbing image, yet within the grand narrative of Revelation, this darkness serves a purpose. It is not the end of the story. In fact, it is the necessary prelude to the story's true conclusion. The purpose of revealing such profound horror is to highlight the even greater power of hope and redemption that follows. The prophecy tears down the world as we know it to make way for something new, something better. The journey through judgment is a purification process. The Pale Rider and his companions are instruments of this process, clearing away a world corrupted by sin and rebellion. Their ride represents the inevitable collapse of any system not built on a foundation of divine truth and love. The ultimate goal is not destruction for its own sake, but the necessary and painful labor pains before a new creation is born. A new heaven and a new earth. No more death, no more mourning, no more crying, no more pain. It is a stark contrast, designed to make the final promise of salvation shine all the brighter against the backdrop of utter devastation. In the end, the Pale Horse rides not as a final victor, but as a temporary agent. His power is limited, given to him for a time and for a purpose. The enduring message is not one of fear but of choice and hope. It asks us to believe that even in the face of the most absolute end we can imagine, there is a power greater than death. A solemn, awesome, ultimately hopeful reminder that every sunset, no matter how dark, promises the coming of a new dawn.